This mod has been on my to-do list for years. Many people have asked me from time to time to make a video about it, and I thought, well, now's a good time as any. This is Wilson Chronicles, a mod for Half-Life 2 developed by Frere Diarme, sorry if I mispronounced that, and a handful of other people. From what I can tell, the mod has been in development for a long time, I think as far back as 2008, and was released on Steam in early access in 2016. The last update to it was in 2019, and after that the developer has been active in responding to comments on ModDB, but the mod has just been sitting there, dormant. Will it get another update, or will it ever get completed? I don't know, only time can tell. Now, Wilson Chronicle is a strange oddity. Keep in mind that the last public release was a beta, an in-development version, but something about it feels off to me, and I'll try to explain why. Starting off, we wake up in our apartment, grab our keys and get into the car. Then there's 2 to 3 minute long drive where we see the New Mexico desert as we're approaching the Black Mesa facility. Now, the thing here is that I really like how the outside world looks, I like how the atmosphere feels, but functionally, I feel like this scene adds nothing at all to the game. I kind of get it if this was a homage to the train ride in the beginning of Half-Life 1, but that ride's whole purpose was to get the player immersed into the world, into what the facility looked like and how it worked. This ride is just a ride and it just ends. A phone call or a radio call or anything on the car's radio like a news bulletin would have added a lot. Any sort of exposition, but honestly, I just feel this whole scene does not fit here. Then we park our car and get inside the facility. Right off the bat, I noted that there's no voice lines at all. I mean custom voice lines. Either the NPCs speak the Half-Life 2 citizen lines, the HECU grunts speak the Half-Life 1 lines, and the communication speaker uses the Half-Life 1 lines as well. I get that this mod is in development, but even badly acted custom voice lines would have gone a long way in improving the overall story. And that's another thing. There is no story, honestly. The resonance cascade just happens and you're like, okay, guess I gotta shoot aliens and soldiers now. I gotta admit, the mapping for the levels is actually quite done well. I get that it strays away in some cases from the original style or even Black Mesa's design, but just stays quite close enough to the original source material that you know that this is Black Mesa. Some of the complaints I've seen online is that the maps are small, filled with corridors. But while that's true, I feel that's a good thing in some capacity. Sort of gives you a congested and claustrophobic feeling in some places, and I like that. There are big halls type rooms, but they show up rarely in between the corridor places. Speaking of maps, the mod has quite a bit of variety in terms of aesthetics. It has like 7 chapters, and a lot of them vary from theme and tone. Like there's the sector we start in, the medical lab, the office area, and the underground areas. In terms of layout, the mod shifts between the polar opposites of either being very easy to navigate or having no idea at all about what to do. And that's odd. Like right at the beginning, I was supposed to go into this vent in the dark and there were even flares here to guide me. I like that. But the smoke from the flares blocked my view and I couldn't see the grate, the vent, and I spent like 20 minutes just trying to figure out what to do. And in other cases, you just keep on moving and playing and the map progresses naturally without any hitch. I kind of find it odd that that happens. It either should be one way or the other, but both of them happen. But anyway, the lack of any sort of dialogue or interaction in between these maps and chapters make the whole mod feel like a little stale. There's an attempt at something in the earlier part of the mod though. You find the security guard fending off zombies and I thought, well, judging by the amount of zombies around the guard, I'm guessing he's supposed to die and I'll get his gun. But turns out he's an essential NPC that you have to look after because if he died, the game ends. The next time I was proactive in getting these zombies and tried to protect the guard as much as I could, and I was successful. In every encounter, there was this strange sense of anxiety that I had to kill all the aliens, otherwise the guard will die and I'll fail. After that panic attack was over, I reached this tram which had no power, so I went down to turn on the power and found 2 alien dogs in the most cramped area imaginable. I fought a bull squid and came back up to get mauled by a zombie torso. After all of that, the guard died for some reason, and I had to do all of that again. This was odd as hell, and I don't know why we're even protecting this guy. The only thing he does useful is start the tram, and that's it. At one point we leave him behind and go into a vent, and we never see that guy again. But I'm willing to brush all of that aside, all of it, just because the mod is in early access stage. And come on guys, I really only criticize mods only to let you know how I feel personally about it, and possibly try to give you an idea into game design and how it should work, at least how I think it should work. Mods are the community's love, time and effort put into a project, and I genuinely appreciate all of them, no matter how bad other people might call them. But after moving all of that aside, I can't forgive what the mod did to the shotgun. The shotgun looks so strange with that barrel, and how it sounds is just weird. There's a delay between your click, the animation, and the sound, and all of it feels so off. Plus, there's no oomph in any of the weapons apart from the automatic ones, I guess. The rest of the weapons do look nice, and the mod gives you 3 different automatic weapons. There's the MP5, the M4, and the G36C. They all work pretty well and sound great too. However, there's a strange difference between the sizes, like the M4's view model looks humongous, but the G36C looks so tiny, slim, and frail. Anyway, the machine guns are nice, not the shotgun though. Speaking of models, what's with the HEV suits? I mean, I get that Decay had different suits, but they still suited the theme of Half-Life, and the red HEV suit was like a beta Half-Life thing, but green? And this? What? The mod also has custom music made for it, and apart from the main menu theme, which actually sounds pretty badass, the rest of the music is kinda strange. As a novice musician myself, I feel like the music has both major and minor chord composition, which makes it feel happy and sad at the same time. I like how they sound, but I don't know if these tracks suit the mod. So anyway, after going through a bunch of places, killing a whole lot of aliens and soldiers, the final battle takes place at this big hall where it's you and the guards versus the HECU soldier. At this point I noticed how different the HECU soldiers look from their original counterparts. Kind of odd. Gave me heavy vibes from another game that also had strange camo uniforms. Killing all of them and getting into the lift brings up the text, "To be continued." Will it be continued? I personally don't think so. Because it's been 4 years since the last update, and the mod author hasn't been working on this too much. Also, I love how someone suggested that the mod author should shift to the Black Mesa engine, and this was their response. Wilson Chronicle is a good mod. Sure, it has its issue, but I'd recommend it if you're in a mood to play something different. The mod does shine in some places and shows the effort the team behind it put into the mod. Shame it probably won't be ever finished, but hey, what can you do? You can download it from Steam, links in the description. And that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and a big thanks to these benefactors for supporting the channel: Ryan W, Unusual, Taylor, NoClick, Geode, Fisher Grice, TTG, Lambdry, Hawk Assault, Mistress Paban, Alien Grunt, Mark Jelen, A Normal Street Lamp, T-Boy301, TRR Droid, and Bipullet. Thanks again, and see you in the next one.